Hey y'all, SpookyPops here. This is the complete quest guide to investigate the murders in Baldur's Gate 3. First, I want to start off with a fair, mild spoiler warning. This video does contain spoilers about this quest, so just be careful when jumping to the very end of my video, and I'll try to make the chapters very self-explanatory so you can know what you're looking for. Second, this quest correlates and corresponds with a couple different quests. Firstly, finding Dribble the Clown. You're going to find pieces of him throughout this quest as you complete it. And second, solve the Open Hand Temple Murders quest. I'll take you through this quest in its entirety, where it begins. In order to not contain any spoilers, I'm going to say this very cryptically, but the middle pieces, and then the final piece, how to finish the quest. Let's get into it. So the quest begins here at Elfsong Tavern. Before beginning this quest though, I would highly recommend finishing Solve the Open Hand Temple Murders quest if you haven't already. It makes this quest chain a lot easier. That's what I did, so I'll be showing it from that perspective. I'm sure you can do it without finishing the Solve the Open Hand Temple Murders quest, but I'm going to show you from my perspective, and that's what I did. So if you go up to this room, you're going to find the Flaming Fist Investigator that starts the quest off. Talking with her, she tells you that she has a theory that there's a conspiracy happening in the city. There's a group killing random people, essentially for pleasure or for gain, their own personal gain. If you finish the Solve the Open Hand Temple Murders quest, you have this list, a hit list, that you share with her. She tells you that she's going to go warn the other people in the upper city, and she leaves you to find the lower city residents to warn them if they haven't been killed off already. If you haven't finished the Solve the Open Hand Temple Murders quest, I believe you can still get this question going by investigating this room. There's a poisoned wine bottle in the corner here that then will trigger the quest chain to start the quest chain for you. You also might need to find one of the hit lists at one of the murder sites, but stick with me and I'll take you through where those murders happened and how you can find that list to then continue on with this quest. So the first location I went to after starting the quest was the Peartree Residence. Here it is on the map. It's right here in the lower city. Unfortunately, it's not marked on the map, but that's okay. If you go inside, you'll find Mrs. Peartree lying on the ground, and there's a couple things that you can do in this room. If you just search her person, I'm pretty sure that continues the quest chain for you, investigate the murders. You can also grab that key, and here's the list that I was talking about. So if you haven't finished Solve the Open Hand Temple Murders quest, if you find this list, I'm pretty sure you can then go back to the Flaming Fist Investigator to continue with Investigate the Murders quest chain. With that being said, you finished the part that you need to for Investigate the Murders, so you don't necessarily need to go down this hatch, but there's a piece of Dribble the Clown down here, so if you're trying to complete that quest, it would behoove you to go in this hatch and grab the piece of the clown that's down here. As finding Dribble the Clown is not the main focus of this video, I'll go ahead and skip forward to the next part of Investigate the Murders. The next location I went to was Facemaker's Boutique to warn Figaro that he's in danger of being killed by this serial killer. The only action you need to take in this location is simply telling him that he's in danger of being killed by some serial killer who's on a rampage around the city. Once you complete that, there's no other action you need to take at Facemaker's Boutique. The next location I went to was I went back to Elfsong Tavern. I suppose you could have done this piece first, warning Chef Roveer. I wanted to show you how I finished the quest in the exact order I did it in. So I went back to Elfsong Tavern to warn Chef Roveer. The only thing he cares about, however, is that there are rats in his basement, and he needs you to kill them all to care about anything else. So if you go down to this basement cellar, the kitchen cellar, there's a group of rats down here, and I actually killed them before this quest. Hint, hint, there's also another quest that has to do with this kitchen cellar in this basement. So anyways, once the rats are dead, you can go back up top to the kitchen, tell Chef Roveer, and then he acknowledges you about investigate the murders and how there's a serial killer on the rampage. So that's the last section you need to take here with Chef Roveer. The next location I went to after that was the wine festival on the map. So it's in the center of the map, but this is the Highberry home, the Highberry residence, to warn Cora that she's in danger of being killed by the serial killer. It might take a little bit to find her. I thought she was in the house, but she's actually outside the house. There she is. For me, she was outside at the wine festival. So if you just click on her to go talk with her, there will be a dialogue option that then you warn her that she's on the hit list. Now, if you see that guy next to her, yeah, that's the serial killer. And this scene triggers him saying, "You little rat, you ruined my rise to being a very renowned killer in this city." And he ends up attacking you. There's a fight that ends up breaking out. And after you kill the serial killer and all his little henchmen, you then get attacked by a number of civilians. Don't know why. Don't know why they decided to join in on the fight and target me. But anyways, after you're done with his entire fight, search his person for the next part of Investigate the Murders. So once you're done with the fight, search his person and he has a number of items. One of them is a pouch of hands. This helps you not only with Investigate the Murders, but also another quest, Impress the Murder Tribunal. He also has a note, and if you read that note in your inventory, it tells you where you need to go for the last location of Investigate the Murders. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this quest highly correlates with two or three, maybe even 4 different quests. It's kind of insane how much they've intertwined with this quest chain. Read the note that the assassin had on his person, the Dirge of the Unholy Assassin, and it tells you the next location of the quest. You need to go to a Tombstone store. In the back room, there's a portrait that you move off to the side that reveals a button that will reveal the door to the Murder Tribunal. The location of this Tombstone store is right here. I'm going to show you it on the map in just a second. Here it is. It's right northeast of the Elsong Tavern. And if you go into this back room, there is a portrait you need to move. Remove the portrait. It will reveal a button. Hit the button. The wardrobe will move and show you a door that gets you access into the Murder Tribunal. Click onto the door. There's not a way to lockpick it because you actually need the passcode. Sicarius. Once you're inside the door, this is the final location of Investigate the Murders. So down here in this dungeon, if you go into this door, there is a pair of guards who are guarding this door. By interacting with them and talking with them, you have a couple different options that you can do. And depending on what way you've done this quest, you can present them one of the hands. So you have the pouch of hands that you got off the assassin. You can also probably just attack them. Anyways, I chose to go the diplomatic route and say, "Hey, I'm here for the Murder Tribunal and I have these hands." Once inside the door and at the Murder Tribunal, it is revealed that the head of this tribunal is none other than the most renowned killer in all of Baldur's Gate, Sarevok. Again, you have a couple different options for this part of the quest. I'm guessing you can either go along with kind of becoming an unholy assassin, and if you choose this dialogue option, you're most likely going to have to kill one more person to kind of complete this quest chain and become an unholy assassin. I decided not to become an unholy assassin, and I attacked Savarok. After a vicious battle, you kill Savarok, you kill all the people that were with him, and then if you search his person, there are things that you need to continue the quest and to finish the quest. There's a nice sword, there's a nice helmet, and then there's also a map, a key, and an amulet. All of these pieces are necessary for you to continue this quest, so grab them all and make sure you read that note, which is the map to where the Ball Temple is. The last part of this quest is saving Valeria, the investigator. They unfortunately chained her up in kind of this side room, and like I said, if you had opted into becoming and going down the route of the unholy assassin, I'm guessing that you most likely would have had to kill Valeria to kind of prove yourself. I, however, did not do that, so I saved Valeria, and that was the last thing I needed to finish Investigate the Murders, and also incidentally, this also finishes Impress the Tribunal. And that is the complete quest guide to Investigate the Murders in Baldur's Gate 3. Phew, that was a doozy. I definitely spent a long time kind of searching through the pieces for this quest chain, as well as I still haven't finished finding Dribble the Clown. There is one piece I have to find of him, but as soon as I finish that quest, I'll make sure to give you a quest guide. So hope you enjoyed this guide. If you are enjoying this content, please consider subscribing to the channel for your support. It would be greatly appreciated. Enjoy, happy hunting, SpookyPops out.